Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another live stream. Happy Saturday. We're into the weekend. We've already passed Friday, heading into Sunday, and before you know it, it'll be Friday again. Anyway, welcome back and happy Saturday. In this video, we're going to take a look at something that appears to have entered the field of view of the Stereo Ahead spacecraft. This is a spacecraft that monitors the sun from this location right here in the solar system in front of the Earth. Looks at the sun from this perspective right here. And I'm showing you this map. This is a current map of the position of the planets right now as I do this video. What's up, Hoppin' Sin? God's having coffee with common sense. Good to see everybody here. There's Reno G2000. Good afternoon, guys. Hey, caught something quite fascinating on the Stereo Ahead. My friend Nelson Jenks shared something that he spotted on the LASCO C2 over here, and they may be related. This is getting wild. You seriously can't make this stuff up. Thanks for hitting the like, guys. I appreciate that. I can see the likes going up right over here on my right. I keep the chat over here on a different monitor so I can see what you guys are up to. I like to hop in the chat every once in a while. Actually, I like to a lot, but I have to stick to business here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got over a dozen, actually 15 tabs open and multiple videos and various cool things to share with you guys. And we're going to get right to it. So here we go. What was that? That's what the banner implied that I put together for this slideshow or this live stream. Seriously, something appeared in the field of view up here on the Stereo Ahead spacecraft just a few hours ago. Now I want to point something out here. This thing is looking at the sun, the spacecraft is. The sun is behind this coronagraph. That's what blocks out the bright light of the sun. Something entered the field of view up here. I've been using this for a long time, and you don't normally see things come in at a high angle like that, especially if some people implied, or one person did, that this could have been Mercury. Well, look at the angle this thing's coming in. I mean, it's coming in at a very steep angle. Again, here's where the spacecraft is at. I want to kind of give you guys a perspective so we're all on the same page here. Here's the Stereo Ahead spacecraft right there, okay? Now, here's the solar system. Here's the planets currently in their positions right now as I do this video. Here's the sun. Here's Mercury right here. And if you look at Mercury, it's actually in prograde. It's going up. It's on its up climb, and it's down near the ecliptic. So here's Stereo A. There's Mercury, more or less down even with the sun, going in an upward direction, okay? So I just wanted to point that out so that when we look at this, we know that it's not Mercury, all right? Because that would be the only other thing that it could possibly be. It's up here above the ecliptic plane. In fact, it's well above the ecliptic plane. There's something moving, or there was in the last, 24 to 48 hours. But watch what it does. This may have been picked up on 2 separate spacecrafts. Okay, so here it goes. I'm going to step it forward because for whatever reason, this spacecraft, and it's always done this, the first, say, 100 images you have are pretty decent, and then all of a sudden they just kind of go haywire. So here we go. You can see the object right there, and then see how the image gets all distorted, and there's all kinds of interference. But if you look real close, the object, whatever it was, continues on. And it comes down, and I believe out through here. So again, here it comes, enters the field of view at a very steep angle. That's not Mercury, okay? Mercury's down here, and it's not even visible right now. It's not visible over here, but I'll show you where Mercury is visible at. Check this out. You want to see Mercury? Look over here on the LASCO C3. Mercury is right there. See it? That's Mercury. See how it's going up? It's going up the hill now, not down the hill. And it's down even with the sun, not up here, like what we're seeing. So Mercury's over here, and that takes Mercury out of the equation. Watch what happens on the LASCO C2. Are you serious right now? Watch something come darting out the bottom here at about the 7 o'clock position. Did you see that? Did you see how fast that was moving? Oh my gosh, what was that? Here, check it out. Here it comes again. Watch, look at that. Let me take that back and Whoa! I mean, that darted a long way in a very short period of time, just like the object we saw right up here. It was hustling, moving at an extremely high rate of speed. And again, not Mercury. If you watch, it continues on, and I think it makes a hard right-hand turn. Got picked up over here on the LASCO. Check this out. We're going to look at it even closer. You ready for this? We're going to go to Iceland in this video. Got all kinds of cool stuff to share with you guys. So here it is. 24 hours later, going from the stereo spacecraft over here to the SOHO spacecraft, the SOHO LASCO C2. And the time frames are consistent with each other with regard to this thing making a continuous track through the solar system and making a swipe near the sun. What the heck is going on? I mean, something's going on, guys. We've got mysterious comets in the solar system from other solar systems, from different stars. Now this, what is that thing? You know, I saw it too, Nelson, just for conversation purposes. I keep the SOHO on 24/7. It's on behind me on a separate monitor. I saw this thing come off the bottom of the sun too, and I looked, and at first I thought it made a sweeping curve. And then Nelson sent me this video here in a Dropbox file, and I got to looking at it a little bit closer, and then I connected the dots. I'm like, wait a minute, this could be a continuation of what we just saw on the stereo spacecraft. Guys, if I had to say, it looks like something ultra high speed just went through the inner solar system. Seriously, that's not a solar flare right there or a CME. I don't know what that thing was. Almost looks like some sort of a possible intelligently designed craft. It almost doesn't look natural, you know what I mean? I don't know. I've never seen anything quite like that, and I've never been able to follow something from stereo ahead like this over into the LASCO. This is looking at the sun from a different angle, remember, and it's still right there, and it's trucking right along. I mean, it's moving fast. Faster than most comets, definitely faster than a planet, comes down in through here and becomes visible, or at least it looks like it becomes visible over here on the LASCO C2. Very, very cool stuff. A lot of stuff going on right now. Coming over here to Zoom.Earth. These wild colors are still showing up down here deep in the Southern Ocean. You can see the green just after sunrise down here off the, well, it's south of Madagascar, about 2,000 miles. I want to show you guys another photo that was shared with me by Joseph. Check this out. He noticed this up in the northern Pacific just a few days back, and he felt compelled to take a screen grab of it. This was on the 27th of October. So this was just prior to the large, strong geomagnetic storm that we had. What did he see up here in the northern Pacific? He too is a longtime user of Zoom Earth, and he's never seen this before. And I gotta be honest, I've never seen anything like that either. Somebody asked if maybe this could be something to do with the plankton. That's called bioluminescence, and bioluminescence is something that's usually along a coastline. It's popular out here along the West Coast, but it only occupies maybe a quarter mile tops. Couple hundred yards, you know, not something like this here that spans over 2,000 miles. I mean, that's huge. Here's another green glow. This is from the 20th, down here deep in the Southern Ocean once again. And here's another look at the green glow, whatever it is, yesterday, the 21st. So we're waiting on today. I'll check it out and see if it's still visible down there. I don't know what's going on, but that's been there now for going on 2 weeks, whatever that is. And again, that's after sunrise. That is not any type of aurora. I don't believe it's the what do they call them? The electric blue clouds. At first, that's what I thought maybe the ones were up here in the northern Pacific. But I'm like, no, electric blue clouds are after dark, not after sunrise. So I don't know. Weird stuff going on, visible over here on the LASCO C, or on the Zoom Earth, Zoom.Earth. That's a great website. Coming over here to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, we've seen volcanic activity continue. Kilauea threw a little bit of a fit last night. We've still got the ongoing swarm activity. It's quieted down some over here at the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. Right now, 58 earthquakes on the map around the caldera. This swarm, actually, there's 2 swarms that have occurred this week. This one here, how many did it have in it? Let's just check real quick. 37 earthquakes in this swarm right here, just north and west of the caldera. And another swarm up here a little farther north and west. That one had 14. So multiple earthquakes around the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. I want to show you guys the volcanic activity that continues. Whatever's going on up at Mount Rainier, it looks like the strong solar activity, which is continuing, by the way. It's just not Earth directed. The activity up at Mount Rainier continues. I'm not like the Daily Mail. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is an indication that it's going to erupt. It's certainly not. It's certainly an indication of something, and it's still going on to this day. The volcanic activity down here in Indonesia that you guys are all well aware of, and then here's what happened last night. While most of us were asleep, there was some activity at Mount Kilauea. This is not necessarily anything new. It's been active for quite some time now. It has been active off and on since 2018 when they had the very large eruption that actually made the Big Island bigger. That again occurring back in 2018. So I'm just pointing that out because the solar activity has been on a whole nother level. And with regard to like the stereo spacecraft, the SOHO, you can see the energy, especially over here on the stereo, coming off the backside of the sun. And I wanted to show you guys some activity off the backside of the sun. Here's a still image that this just occurred less than 24 hours ago. Yet another huge, I mean humongous CME launching off the backside of the sun, visible from the stereo ahead spacecraft. This is a massive filament that occurred just a few hours ago off the northern limb of the sun. Look at that thing. I mean, the sun is really kicking into high gear. Thankfully, most of this energy, well, in fact, all of it, is not Earth-directed. Here's another view from the stereo ahead spacecraft. There have been multiple CMEs off the backside of the sun. More than likely, these are associated with solar flares. We've got coronal holes facing the Earth right now. There are 2, actually 3. They're small ones, but nevertheless, they are facing the Earth. The bigger one is an equatorial coronal hole. That one, more than likely, will send a stream of high-speed solar wind directly at the Earth. Then we're going to be dealing with these guys here very soon. There's 4 new sunspots that are turning towards the Earth, but it's behind the sun is what's concerning. There are some very big active sunspots and active regions behind the sun, and they are putting on quite a show over here on the stereo ahead spacecraft. Look at the size of some of those CMEs. If those were Earth directed, those would be putting on some unbelievable geomagnetic storm activity here on the Earth. But this right here is what caught my attention. This little guy right here. I don't know who he is or where he came from, but he is rather interesting. And I think he got picked up over on the SOHO LASCO C2. Very cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, our friend Jody Overstreet out of Park Hills, Missouri. This was following the geomagnetic storm. People have been reporting, this was on the 18th, seeing all kinds of colorful clouds in the sky. We're seeing color on the Zoom Earth satellite, the instrument that it shows us global cloud tops all around the world. Not only are we seeing color in the northern Pacific, we're seeing color in the deep southern ocean and seeing color in the skies above Missouri. Missouri saw one of the most spectacular light shows with regard to auroras I think they'd ever seen during the last geomagnetic storms. I received so many photos and very good photos out of Missouri, and it looks like the energy, or at least some of the color, is still lingering around in the daytime sky. Unbelievable. Here's an update on the Mount Rainier, the western flank. This is today, so the activity continues. This is 11/22/2025, and you can see there is still activity along the western flank, some sort of a mysterious frequency, origins unknown. What does this mean? It could mean a lot of things. Does it mean the volcano is going to erupt? Absolutely not. It means something's going on along the western flank that is producing some sort of a mysterious frequency. Could be just something as simple as an antenna that's frozen. Then again, it could be magma on the move. Volcanoes have magma, and it's not uncommon for volcanoes and magma to start moving around. That's not necessarily anything new with regard to volcanoes, but it's definitely not an indication that it's going to erupt. Not at all. It just means that something's being detected over there. That's why those instruments are there. They're not there just for fun. They're there to detect energy. Speaking of energy, rogue and random, here we go, Ramon. This also occurred on the 18th. I got a lot of unusual activity for some reason on the 18th. Saw rogue and random flashing lights like this one here out of Springfield, Virginia by Ramon. I still get these every day, guys. He was driving down a freeway, couldn't help but notice the lights on both sides of the freeway. A sign up here he went under. You can tell there was definitely something going on, as if the Earth was reeling from all the energy from the proton storm, the geomagnetic storm. And what's so unusual about lights or substations? See this one here, Toby. I'm not sure of the location, but it was on the 18th as well. Lights flickering and flashing. What is so unusual about a substation accumulating, say, a bunch of static from these geomagnetic storms, especially from a ground level event? We just had one, a big one from the last geomagnetic storm. And let's say some of that energy gets into light circuits or specific power lines that supply certain areas, just specific areas, rogue and random, and causes the lights to flicker like that. Southgate, California. Martha couldn't help but notice her neighbor was having some sort of issue with the lights in the living room and the hallway there. Don't know if the kids were playing around with something or if there was some sort of a legitimate malfunction. Jimmy Livingston out of Aiken, South Carolina, pulled up to this gas station. We've seen this many times. Lights under these big canopies malfunctioning. Seen these all across the country multiple times. And again, I still get videos, guys, on a daily basis of these flickering, malfunctioning lights all around the world, especially across the country here in the United States. I'm going to take you guys up to Iceland. This video footage you're about to see is less than 24 hours old. We have not had a geomagnetic storm recently. The IMF, which is the Interplanetary Magnetic Field, is north right now. That would be the BZ. That means that the shields are closed. So no geomagnetic storm. BZ is to the north, but yet Iris up here in Iceland is recording more aurora activity just a few hours ago. And she sent me this video straight from Iceland. Thank you, Iris. I really appreciate it. I've never been to Iceland. I hear it's very beautiful and the skies are still putting on a show. I'm assuming this is residual from the very strong geomagnetic storm that we just had. I don't know, but she found these a little bit unusual herself, and she lives in Iceland and just shared those very cool videos with me. Thank you, Iris. Really appreciate that. Coming over here to the homepage of the website, guys, if you have any cool photos or videos, just like Iris, by all means, send them in. We'll feature them in an upcoming video. If the videos won't attach to the email, which is, by the way, reports@mrmbb333.com, go right up here to this tab that says have a large video. Watch, I'll show you what it does. Click on it. Bada bing, it takes you right to a Dropbox. And you can drag and drop videos in here all day long. Just somewhere on the video, put your name, date, and location. You don't have to put your last name if you don't want to. You don't even have to put your specific location. You can just put Texas, North Carolina, California, Arizona, wherever the case is. If you feel comfortable putting your whole location, that's cool too. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. But I want at least your first name or your initials so I can give you credit for the cool photos. So once again, send in your cool photos like this one right here by Joe Power out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Are you serious right now? That is an unedited photo. Look at that. And this was pre-AI, by the way. That is real. That's a very real photo. Coming over here to the GOES X-ray plugs, looking at the last 72 hours. All quiet. No Earth-directed solar flares, which is no surprise because the Earth-facing side of the sun is very quiet for the time being. That's about to change. Looking at the planetary K-index, it too is very, very quiet right now, but still seeing auroras up here in Iceland. and there's no geomagnetic storm activity. And once again, the BZ is tilted south. So guys, I want to take you back to the rogue object over here where we started. Something appeared to dive towards the sun at a very high rate of speed just a few hours ago, and it may have been picked up by not only one, hey, what's going on there, Tina Brown? You're welcome. Not only by one, but two spacecraft that monitor the sun. How cool is that? I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. You don't have to. Just pay attention and look around. You'll see something eventually that just defies all logic and common sense, and it doesn't really make any sense. All right, guys, I want to hop in the chat here for a minute and say hi to everybody. What's going on? TB out of Florida. Penny Burns, what's going on, Peaceful Warrior? Good to see everybody here. The people that are lit up in green are Star family members. The way is Jesus Christ. Hey, all, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you guys here. There's my moderator. What's up, moderator? Hey, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. That pushes the video out there just a little bit farther, and I thank you in advance. Thank you in advance. Happy Saturday once again. We made it through another week, and you know what? Before you know it, it'll be Friday again, man. But what we were talking about in this video was the mysterious object that showed up not only on one, but quite possibly two. Look at that. I don't think it has anything to do with 3i Atlas, because according to my sky map that I put together, because I had somebody imply that it could be Mercury, and that was a good guess, because Mercury is kind of in the ballpark, but it's definitely not in town. It's nowhere close to where this object was up here, coming in like this at a steep angle. Here's the stereo spacecraft that spotted that thing, and once again, it may have been picked up on two objects. Does it have anything to do with 3i Atlas? I don't think so, because I'll tell you why. 3i Atlas is over here. Here's the Earth, here's the Sun, there's Mars. 3i Atlas is out in here somewhere. So whatever this thing was, it was moving at an extremely high rate of speed. It almost seemed to, I don't know if this is it right here. If it made a hard right-hand turn, it may have dematerialized a little bit, but it kind of held together right there. Look at that. Good grief, that thing was moving fast. I mean, seriously, that was moving fast. And that didn't look like a CME. No. Looked like something darting out from behind the sun. And it was only visible on here for just a matter of, let's try to get an accurate, okay, right there, let's back it up. Okay, visible there, okay, 2212. Wow, 2.5 hours? Traveled millions of miles in just 2.5 hours. And it hasn't shown up yet over here on the LASCO C3. This is the wider field of view. You can tell it's a much wider field of view. This is a closer field of view. So again, not Mercury. Mercury, guys, is right there. Mercury is not over here where that one was at. So not Mercury. Something weird just went through the inner solar system, moving at an extremely high rate of speed, captured by quite possibly two spacecraft that monitor the sun. There it went right there on the SOHO LASCO C2. Thank you, Spitfire. Good to see everybody here in the chat. I appreciate you stopping by and spending part of your Saturday with me. Time is our most precious commodity, and when you share your time with me, I greatly appreciate it. I really and truly do. Well, listen, guys, that's all I got for today. Here's the outro. Some people say, where's your outro, Michael? Where's your outro? Well, the outro is right here. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.